Hello folks! Welcome to the Poly Champions YouTube. This is a replay review of a bullet tournament IMO game. You'll see how philosophy can be helpful in the mid-game, where not to put your monuments, and how to overcome an onslaught of giants. Let's watch the replay. Hello, I'm eSpark, leader of the Arctic Wolves team, and with me today is Reaper.
Hello, my name is Reaper. I am a pro player on the Kraken team. This was a game between myself and a player named Mr. Ice P. And I thought this game was very interesting. It was a massive back and forth battle. And so I'm going to share it with you guys. So I see my spawn and I am ecstatic. I see 3 animals and 4 forests and a level 3 sawmill spot, and I am loving it.
For
I love.
IMO, this is really good because IMO usually has like what do they call it? A mix of resources where you can't level up a city
Yeah,
just with one tech. This is unusual for IMO.
yeah. So I'm loving this. I can go straight down hunting into forestry, which is immediately, a great tech tree path, right? It can go into math, archery, a bunch of, really great offensive and defensive techs, and especially for getting giants too. So I'm loving my spawn. My opponent's spawn. They have something actually a little bit similar. They have 4 forests, but they have 2 animals. But they still have a level 3 sawmill spot. So our spawns are actually pretty even here. And so he ends up training a second warrior. I go ahead and move, and I get a second warrior as well. We're both headed straight towards the center. He's headed straight for my capital here, and I end up meeting him this turn. And I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? I'm like, can I go riding? No, my capital's full of population. Is there anything else I can do? Nope, I just have to go hunt workshop. So that's what I do.
And the
Uh,
key here is he attacked and he lost his altar of peace, right?
yeah, yeah, he lost his altar piece here. He got aggressive. And he can't actually hold this village since my capital is so close. I can funnel enough units in time to get that city.
But
Which
you're also going to lose your altar of peace?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna lose it because I'm gonna have to fight for this village. And so we don't. I don't get my altar piece, and he doesn't get his till later on in the game. I don't think.
That's so unusual for IMO.
Yeah, but he ends up getting early vision on my capital, which can be a little helpful. And he does end up killing that warrior. But he ends up just cowering away and just going for one of the villages that he found, kind of over here. But there's other where he doesn't try to fight for it, which
Yeah.
I found interesting. So we're finally on our way to getting our both our C2s on turn 5. Turn 5, we get our first cities.
Yeah, those villages are 2 tiles away from the capital. That's crazy.
But he ends up getting forestry pre-capture, and he's able to upgrade his cities.
Mr. Ice gets resources on his capital and then a workshop in the second city. Mm-hmm.
I get forestry as well, but I'm not as fortunate. I can't level 3 my capital, so I end up just getting workshop. He ends up getting writing. And I don't know if, I don't know that he is writing. So I'm like, all right. So I'm just kind of approaching forward. I finally upgrade my capital, get stars back. And this was just kind of a misplay because I know that he's over here, and I'm kind of poking the bear, if you will. Like, oh hey, I got units right outside your borders. And they have writing, so it doesn't go too well for me actually.
Yeah, I mean, even if you didn't know he had writing, you could have guessed like he's got a couple units there.
But he gets climbing here, and he has some mines. I mean, he's got mines in all of his cities, and he's able to step on this ruin. I don't know this at the time. I can't see that he has climbing, but I'm like, all right. So I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna try and expand, maybe get my third village.
Maybe there's a village in the south. Looks promising. Oh, what does he get from the ruin?
What did he get from the ruin? He gets stars from the ruin. Um,
Oh, well,
so
that's very fortunate.
yeah, that's fortunate for him, but very unfortunate for me. So I was already feeling, I only have warriors and stuff. But I'm like, all right, so I can at least pop a giant this turn, right? So I got that going for me. I end up making a misplay here. You see this monument? You know,
Oh no!
this is a great monument. You know, it gives me 3 population and everything, and man, it's doing
It's a
wonders. You know,
very
it
pretty
my city,
monument, but it's next
but
to three
um,
mountains.
it
Ah!
and they all have gold in them. So I completely murder a level 3 forge spot, which is just an instant giant. Uh,
Oh.
you know, because I misplaced my monument, I could have placed it anywhere else. I could have placed it on the north tile, this northeast tile. I could have placed it on this west tile, you know. But I decided, hey, I want to place it all next to the mountains for some reason, which I was kind of mad at myself about. If
Yeah.
I'm, and so I was actually really worried that I wasn't actually going to be able to hold this village here because I saw that he has writing. So I'm like, he's gonna knock me out like straight out. You know, I won't be able to get this village. It's gonna become like 4-2 or something. Um, and so he gets math this turn, of course.
Mr. Ice P gets mining. Let's see. So he has math, he's got mining. What do you have? You have forestry and writing. And what else?
I have forestry and organization. Um, I don't know, but he has quite the great techs. I mean, he's ahead of me tech wise. He's ahead of me unit wise. Like, I felt like I was losing at this point. Like I got the first giant, but I didn't feel like I was winning anything. So I move my giant forward. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna threaten these units here. Maybe hopefully his warriors go away. I don't think they can do anything against my giant. And I'm thinking like, okay, what can I do here? I'm really worried that this village is going to get sieged. So I'm like, is there any way I could block? Like this unit's kind of blocking, but it's only 2 hits. Aha! Let me get archery. And what
You
this
love archery. You are such an
I'm
archery stan. Oh my gosh.
I I'm obsessed with archery. It is an amazing tag. It's just it just catches you so off guard, you know? And you can't do like really much about it, right? If it's behind giants or defense
Yeah.
boosted units, right? And so like here I now have this warrior that takes 3 hits instead of two, so they can't like get to this village, right? Luckily enough they don't have roads. Um, so but I don't see that, they're getting their first giant. I can't see any of their cities actually. So I'm like, all right. So he ends up stepping on another ruin, um, over in the corner there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he doesn't actually step on this ruin here with his rider. Um, so
He probably thinks he can't keep it that you have like,
yeah.
oh, you got
So yeah,
philosophy. Yay.
so I thought, all right, I see that he has mining. And I thought I saw roads under the sawmill, but there's actually no roads. I was just like seeing things. Um, and so I end up going philosophy here because I'm like, all right, like it's 10 stars, it's gonna make my text a lot cheaper if I want mathematics or if I want to go like knights or something, it'll just give me a lot more, options.
But
Especially when I'm stuck.
usually when people get philosophy, it's very early in an IMO, and once you've gone this far in the game on a tiny map, usually it's not worth it to get philosophy.
Yeah, but I was only on 2 cities at this point, so I was like, all right, I can go for it and I'll be okay. And so I end up going for this, I end up getting an explorer here because I have no vision on him. So I'm like,
Right.
all right, this is the perfect chance to get vision. And I end up seeing like the worst thing possible. I see that he has mining. He has a level 3 forge spot. He has a giant. He also has math. Like I saw this and I was like, what?
Oh
I was like,
no.
I was like, did he get like 3-star ruins or like freaking math ruin or something? Like, I don't know. I felt so defeated when I saw this. I was like, wow, he's like way ahead of me tech wise.
He'd gotten the lucky ruins with the resources.
Yeah. He gets another star ruin.
Ugh. Oh,
Um,
lucky. He's so lucky.
and Yeah, and so, it was already terrifying enough that I saw one giant and he had math and mining, but now I see that he has freaking smithery and he's getting yet another giant on that city. So yeah, no, you could say that I was probably a little bit terrified here, because swordsmen aren't fun to deal with. Like I have archery, but it takes like 4 archers to kill a swordsman. So that's not like a good trade. So I see that he trades his first swordsman. He's getting yet. It looks like another giant, but he gets
Border
border growth here
growth.
on his capital, which I found a little interesting. I thought he was going to get another giant and push forward with 3 giants and just absolutely obliterate me with swords, but he didn't do that, which was a little bit interesting. So yeah, I'm kind of just moving my archers up. I decided to get riding roads here just to be a little bit aggressive. I wanted to try and get this ruin because I haven't had a ruin all game, and I'm like, if I can't let him have this ruin. So I try and do my best to kind of keep him off and try and get it for myself. But he just goes around and knocks me out right back off, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say you can't keep that ruin. He's gonna take it
yeah,
back.
but now he's training now 3 swordsmen a turn. Like I don't have enough archers and units to do it all.
And
Um,
it looks like he has more income than you, right? He's got like 17 stars per turn, and you have
yeah, he
like,
has like 4. He has like 4 more stars per turn than me too. So
yeah.
I'm falling behind eco wise. I'm falling behind tech wise. I'm falling behind unit wise too, giant wise. I'm just falling behind everywhere. I'm not doing great. I'm just trying to like defend my city, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna throw this warrior into it. I don't know. I was, like, all right, I'm just gonna line up a bunch of archers, and maybe by the time his giants get to my cities, they'll just be like dead.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Are you feeling stressed, pressured, conflicted? Come to IMO and find inner peace. Mindbenders can give you a fresh start. Experience spicy cuisine, adorable llamas, and transcendent views. The Altar of Peace provides population and score. Use code PHILOSOPHY to get 33% off all future technology. For serenity with a hint of spice, join IMO. Subject to terms and conditions, parallel resources not included. Altar of Peace offer is null and void if you attack before turn 5. Side effects include hair loss, llama bites, boredom, and rage quits. Mindbenders are not a substitute for licensed healthcare providers. For serenity with a hint of spice, join IMO.
He gets roads to knock me off the village, or not the village, the ruin. And so, yeah, now I'm facing a pretty big problem. He has 2 swordsmen in the east. He has a swordsman kind of going. He has 2 swordsmen going for my capital, so I can't train units in my capital anymore. You know, so I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. And then he gets another giant on top of that this turn.
Yep.
So,
Oh.
yeah, I'm not feeling good here. I'm like, well, what can I do? And so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna ping away at his giant real quick. And so, okay, so I realized something here. This 1 HP warrior, it is 2 out of 3 kills.
Oh, it can be a veteran.
And so I go for a saucy play, and I end up leaving that swordsman on 2 HP. The bloom promotion, and there's no way he can actually knock me off this ruin now, because he didn't train units in his back cities here. So I actually was able to get this ruin. Um,
Wow. Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so those veterans, I mean, if you keep track of them, they become handy. I mean, that one really saved me. I don't know what I got from the ruin though,
We'll
but I
see.
mean, hey, a ruin's a ruin.
And you
And
prevented
so
he from getting another ruin at least.
uh, so he ends up throwing his 40 HP giant on my city, and he's able to hit one of my archers, and so I'm like really worried now. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I have enough to unsiege.
That's
Um,
a really rough position. But you have
yeah,
all those archers.
I'm trying. I'm like, ooh, can I do it? I get stars from the ruin. My Lord and Savior,
Woo!
Mijiwan, has pleased me with the 10-star ruin.
You prayed
And
to
so I'm like, all
RN
right,
Jesus. There we go.
yep, RN Jesus. And I end up getting mining, and I'm able to border growth and knocking him off this city with like just barely enough stars. I have 4 stars left over. And I trained some units. And so I'm able to kind of push him back. He's got 2 kind of slightly injured giants in the front, and now he has a 40 HP, and he has a few swords that are marching forward. So, I'm really concerned. He now gets So he gets a really nice giant push here. He pushes his catapult off of his city to be able to hit my giant with a catapult. Um, Although this was a little bit of a misplay, he should have probably shot my giant that wasn't on a defense boosted tile, because it would have done 9 damage instead of just 7. But maybe he's trying to maybe go for a cap rush here. I mean, I wouldn't blame him. He gets to siege my capital this turn. There was nothing I could really do about it.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, which is really unfortunate, and he's really, really hurting my giants. Like, my giant is at 18 HP. He's got a 16 HP giant, a 27 HP giant, a 40 HP giant. He's now got a catapult. He now has another 40 HP giant on his city, and he's got 3 swordsmen now near my capital. Am I feeling safe? No. I am terrified. I think I'm gonna lose the game. Because at any moment, he could just completely destroy my position. So I'm like, all right, I got to get rid of some of these
But
units.
you have,
Uh,
oh, you popped a giant there.
yeah, so I was looking at Gate of Power for a long time because I was like, I'm getting quite a few kills. Can I get Gate of Power? And I actually needed that one kill. That's why you saw my archer kill that swordsman on the mountain.
Wait, let's look at that. You were at, let's look at the kills. You were at the beginning of the turn. Let's see. Oh, yeah. You were 9 out of 10 kills. And then, oh, there's the archer.
Yeah, so I needed that one kill to get that Gate of Power, to actually get the giant there. And I'm able to kill one of his giants. So a little bit of, relieving the pressure a little bit, and so I'm able to kind of play a little bit more defensively on my on my capital front at least. He's got now 2 swordsmen and a 40 HP giant there, but I have 2 40 HP giants and I have some archers backing it up, so I
And
think I'm a little bit stronger.
he has a catapult.
Yeah, he has a catapult there. I'm not the catapult doesn't make me too happy, I'm not gonna lie. He's doing a little bit of work over here, kind of marching towards the city a little bit. Not a huge fan of it. But I think I can deal with one swordsman, it's not too much of a big deal. But he's really applying the pressure now. He's moving a whole bunch of his giants up. I mean, he's got catapults now, 2 catapults. I mean, he's really, really applying the pressure. And so I actually realized here that I can get a veteran archer. So I do so. I
Oh,
get that veteran archer there,
nice.
which is pretty nice. And I'm able to, defend my capital a lot more. And I was also able to snipe one of his catapults here. Um,
With your archer?
yeah, with one of my archers, and so that was really, really helpful. And so, and I eventually finally get a giant over here in the south with those mines, which was really nice. So I don't really have to worry about him pressuring that anymore. He gets border growth over in his east city now, but I'm able to snipe his other catapult now. um, with another archer. Maybe he thought I didn't have vision there or something, but I don't know. But now his threat on my capital is looking not so strong, and I'm able to get Smithery and get another giant on my south city. And so I'm defending quite well. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm like, okay, I'm doing actually pretty good. I'm able to defend against most of his giants. Like they're moving forward, but they're not really making any progress. They're kind of just dying. So that, was nice. I'm now making an offensive push on him. I'm kind of going for his center city now. And I can also kind of split off and maybe go for his east city at some point with both of these giants. And so I'm able to start like mass training swordsmen, and he goes for a massive
Yeah.
push for
Look
my
at that.
capital. He's
3
going all
giants.
in. 3
Wow.
giants. He has 2 1 HP catapults. They do a little bit of damage, but not a lot. But he makes a critical error here. He doesn't realize that this push isn't going to actually help. So he gets a giant over in his east city, um, which will, help him out defend there. But he ends up missing that I have enough units to wipe out. Now, I can wipe out one of his giants just with my archers and swordsmen, but also I can hurt another one of his giants a lot. Um, Yeah, and so I'm able to kind of just like really weaken his push here, and he just can't get enough units to deal and get enough damage to, get my capital. And so now I'm making an aggressive push for his city now. He doesn't have a great way to defend that center city now. Like if he has to road his giant over, but this giant's stuck trying to defend against my 21 HP giant. Um, and
And
so he's
you
kind of
have the
roading through for me.
archers within range so that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I can siege. But he goes for another siege on my capital. And he's trying to hit some of my units, thinking, that'll do the trick. Ends up getting another giant here.
Dang, so many
Um,
giants. Wow.
yeah. And so I'm able to land on his setter city, but he misses that I can still kick him off my capital. Just with like units and then my giant, and I can kill both of his giants. And now he just has 2 catapults and a swordsman at my capital door, and I'm sieging his center city.
Yeah.
And so from here, he resigns in this position because there's no way he can unsiege his
Yeah.
center city. But yeah, no, he played really well. I think if he would have just kind of slowly pushed forward, because he had the advantage like almost the entire game, right? Tech wise, he was able to get catapults before me, swordsmen, all sorts of techs and stuff. But he just kind of he was a little too aggressive and got a little sloppy, and allowing me to snipe both those catapults. He could have pushed forward slowly with a solid line of swordsmen and a little bit more catapults in the back. Overall, I mean, it was a great game. It had me on my toes the entire time.
You got very lucky with that veteran warrior able to hold that
Uh-huh.
ruin, and the ruin gave you stars. If that ruin had
Yeah.
given you fishing, you would have been done.
I would have been done. Yeah, no, I would have totally lost that center city. But hey, the ruin came through, and the RNG gods gave me 10 stars to fight back and win this game, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did. So, but yeah, no, great game. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah, this was really, really great. Thanks so much for talking me through it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps us a lot. For more Polytopia games with skilled players and expert commentary, click the links in the description. Join our Discord server. Get on a Poly Champions team. The link to the Discord is also in the description. Take care. See you on the next one.